Hey folks, and welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium on the 22nd of March 2023. Today we're going to talk a little bit about supply and demand for a change, and just move through the charts and get stuck into a bit of supply and demand theory, maybe identify some setups. But before we do that, I would like to dedicate a minute of silence to my dear friend who recently lost his son in an avalanche in Switzerland. So my thoughts and prayers go out to my dear friend and his family, who I know are all suffering and struggling during this very, very difficult time. And so I encourage you all to do the same for him. It's very, very tragic circumstances and absolutely unfathomable loss for everyone who knew this young man and for the family. So the next minute is for my dear friend and his family. Let's move through the charts now. Okay, so we've spoken about this many times in the past, where you have a very significant pocket of liquidity. These are nested all over the place, and the only way it's possible really to evaluate the strength, and by strength I mean the willing buying and selling at the given level, is by seeing what that area was able to accomplish after its creation. And if you look at an area like this one, or maybe this one down here, which I think we'll use as the example, you can see that when prices left here, we managed to move beyond this area of demand, which was qualified and tested one time, and we actually managed to move prices below this low. And this is an important low, because when prices reach this price level here, we managed to move all the way over to actually the opposite side of the chart if we move in something like this. So yeah, so I mean, this would be an obvious area for us to target. Obviously this is the origin of this whole move, but this is the area of supply that is responsible for causing this. And when I say responsible, it's simply the area that was formed prior to the removal of an opposing area of, in this case, demand or a historical low. Okay, so this was a demand and this is a historical low. So that would essentially put this area of supply on the map, and obviously this one, because this is the origin of this entire move. Okay, so prices, as we can expect, return back to the area that removed this. Okay, and so something you have to be quite mindful of is you want to see these attempts to move back into this area, and we saw that just down here where prices moved down here, then we tried to come higher, we failed, we only got to here, and then we left. Okay, because this little price nodule here becomes a reference point for the future. Okay, prices came back, we tested it, we went through it, and we started to trade above it from around here, just around here. You can see this little area here, this par managed to close and trade beyond it. So this would be a reference point for the future, just here. Okay, this one is now gone, and this one is now valid, and and this is the one that we would target for potential positions in the future. Okay, so you have this one here. Oops, wrong tool. We have this area just here. that was tested. Price moved to the opposing side, and so now price is just trading nicely between these two. Okay, and all of a sudden one of them is going to fail. So where did price go to? Well, it failed from here. And the reason I say here is not because this is where price went through. You wanna look for a move in the opposite direction. So you want to see something like this, just before an area is breached, and you can see that little blue candle right there. So this becomes the area that we focus on. Okay, so this one is now gone. This one is the one that we're focusing on. It's tested several times, you can see here, and it managed to get removed from where? Here we got a red candle, so we have something in here. Okay, so this would be an area that we would consider to look to trade at. There's not a lot of detail on this one because there's a big wick there, and there's quite a large wick at the bottom of the departure, sorry, the accumulation candle before departure candle, and so this would obviously make us want to drill down to the smaller time frames. If we move over here, you can see that prices came back to this one here, which was removed here, tested again 2 times, 3 times, and then prices finally left. Okay, so you want to always be looking for these areas of supply and demand that are responsible for removing opposing supply and demand, and you want to be looking for attempts to move into them, attempts and failures. Okay, so here we had an area, we had an attempt, a failure, the sell zone was established, we moved into it a little bit deeper, this is normal behavior, a little bit deeper, and then we test it, and then price moves away. Okay, this is totally normal and expected behavior. Okay, and so in a situation like we have now on this particular chart, so we have prices moving down into this area here. Prices departed. We managed to, again, we have sell zone tested, prices went through it. We accumulated just below it. We moved above this high and whatever else is located over here. And prices came back to that area. We gapped down. We moved beyond. We went even deeper down to this area here, and this is where prices managed to move away from. And here we gapped down into this area before we managed to move higher and away. Okay, so that was this is very interesting behavior, and it's predictable behavior, but you have to follow the rules properly. If we have a look at one more pair, I'm going to do a short video today. This is the Euro Canadian dollar. This is just an example. Okay, so you want to look for these areas where prices tried to move beyond. Okay, so we have these highs here. Okay, we have a storm coming, so I might have to cut this short. But we had some highs here. Okay. Prices attempted, failed several times. We managed to do it. Where's that candle that moved against it prior? So the area of demand is just here. So this becomes the area where we would expect prices to come to. Prices came to, we closed above it, and then we just wriggled away from here. Okay, so this is super important. It's very important to pay attention to where prices have historically tried to move beyond and failed, because this is key. This is telling us that we have a lot of liquidity here, a lot of liquidity in this whole area, and so when prices do finally manage to move beyond, well, that's telling us something about the strength in this area. Okay, well, I'm going to stop for now. We have the wind picking up upstairs, and I think maybe a storm moving in, so I'm going to shut down for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for